So I'm just going to hand the platform now to Mia, which will be talking a little bit more about our program significant dates.
Thank you, Jason. Congratulations again to all of our winners, and welcome to our students, and welcome Maddie to become part of the Real Institute family at Ryerson University. So on this slide, I'll be just talking about some significant dates. So on September 3rd, which will be the in-person orientation programming, and I know Jason, you will talk a little bit more about this in the next slide. And on September 6th, university is closed, no class on that day, which is the Labor Day. And your first day of the class will be on September 7th, and last day of the class will be on November 26th. So in order for you to know your classes, I know many of you have already been able to log into your Ryerson student account and see your courses, and some of you may need to come on campus for class. So you will see that you have room numbers showing start with CPK. So just a reminder, when you come to campus, remember to download the Ryerson Safe app on your phone, and there is just a few simple health screening questions for you to answer. And also remember to wear your mask. This is the way that you protect yourself and also protect others as well. And for the students who are taking classes virtually on Zoom, so you will be having full access to D2L no later than the end of tomorrow, actually. So you will be able to see your class Zoom ID. And as well, on D2L, you will be able to see your course outline, which is actually very important for you to know important dates. And People Groove is another great platform where we are sharing resources and also events information, important program documents, for example, student academic policies, tips and advice. And there is also a very nice discussion board where you can ask questions. So in the presentation later on, I know this will be also explained in details. And so after this, I will hand it back to you, Jason, for the next slide.
Thank you very much. And so this is our schedule for our in-person orientation, as well as a virtual orientation. So I know some of our students have opted to do a blended learning model where some of the students will attend classes a few days of the week in person and then do the rest on virtual. And some of you have decided to just do virtual completely, which is not a problem. So we have an in-person orientation just to kind of have fun, meet our staff, meet each other for a little bit. And so our in-person orientation is actually on September 3rd, which is this Friday. And I sent everyone that lives in the nearby GTA area an email to register for orientation. For those who got the email and didn't have a chance to register for it, please send us an email at eslfoundation@ryerson.ca, and we can definitely get you registered if you want to join us in person. And so we'll have some fun events. We'll join the central orientation events, and we'll take you on a tour of your campus and your buildings. And most importantly, I think everyone is waiting for this part, free food and drinks. So, kind of good food, kind of good drinks. We like to take care of our students. And this would also be a really good time for you to ask any questions that you might have about the program, about us, about the space, Toronto, Canada, whatever you might have questions about. And remember, this in-person orientation will be done using with social distancing in mind. So make sure you bring your mask if you're attending, and then we'll keep 2 meters apart. And we'll just do everything we can to have fun, but also keep each other safe. For the virtual orientation event schedule, we'll also be hosting a platform for an online scavenger hunt, and that information will be sent to you in the coming day. And we also have been fortunate to have Central Orientation Planning assist us with some of our events. So there's actually a virtual campus tour held by Central Orientation from September 2nd to December 6th. And they'll take you on a virtual campus tour. And we've handpicked some of these Central Orientation events with your experience in mind. I think these would be some of the key standout events for you to attend. And if you actually want to see the entire orientation week schedule, the link's right there on the right side, road to ru.attendees.com. And they have over 200 events this year, and you can have a look through them. So with that being said, we just talked about the hybrid blended term. So for fall 2021, we are implementing a hybrid session for the ESL Foundation program. What does that mean for me? So if you think about the last 18 months, we've all been doing this virtual term, virtual studying, kind of studying from a class, from home, from your rooms, from our bedrooms, computer rooms. And essentially think of what are the benefits of studying virtually? Well, we know one is technology based, and everyone knows how to use technology now. I think everyone knows how to use a computer, a phone, and they're very familiar with those kind of platforms. It's also very comfortable. Like I said, you can kind of just wake up half an hour before class, have some breakfast, and then go to class. It's a very comfortable part of virtual learning, one of the key parts. It's asynchronous and synchronous. And we'll talk about what those two mean in the next slide. And well, really, it's convenient. Like I said, you don't have to take the bus, you don't take the train into the classroom for virtual classes. But then on the other side, you have in-person classes. So think about when you were back in classrooms in person, what are the benefits of that? So it's hands-on. You get to see some of the projects, some of the questions that your instructors are working on. Sometimes you actually get to touch and feel your projects if you're working on crafts. And just being able to see it hands-on is a very, very different experience. Because it's more of a traditional nature, it's also a very familiar setting for all of us too. I know when we all started virtual studies, it was a little bit uncomfortable because no one has ever done it like this before to this kind of scale. So in-person classrooms are something that I think everyone has experienced for the most part, and it's very, very comfortable and familiar to us. It's less technical barriers. So you don't have to worry about internet connections and Wi-Fi. Is my computer too slow? Do I have the program? You just come to class, you pay attention and you study and you do well. And I think the big one is personalized teaching styles. I think teachers and instructors being able to recognize that not everyone studies the same, everyone has different learning styles. They'll be able to help the student in person and in a more of a personalized manner. So what does our hybrid term mean, blended term? Well, essentially you can have the best of both worlds. So all these pros from both sides, from both the virtual and in-person side, you get to have both of them. So you get to attend a few days of classes, which gives you all the pros of the in-person class I just talked about. But also studying virtually means that you also get to enjoy the technology base, the convenience of virtual classes. So in conclusion, a blended hybrid term is actually a win-win for almost everyone. Now we'll move on to our synchronous and asynchronous learning. All ESL Foundation program students complete the intensive curriculum through synchronous and asynchronous learning, with total course commitments amounting to about 20 hours per week, plus your homework and assignments. So for those who aren't quite sure what synchronous learning and asynchronous learning is and the differences, basically synchronous learning is like a regular in-person class where everyone meets the teacher at a set time. So if you have a class that's on Tuesday at 3 p.m., then this will be classified as synchronous learning. These are live classes, and the classes are taught live, and any questions that you have can also be answered at the time as well. And this type of learning is most familiar with most students. Asynchronous learning is kind of the opposite a little bit, where the sessions and the sessions are usually pre-recorded and are given to you at a later date or ahead of time for you to review or to work on. So this gives you a lot of flexibility on your own learning style. So if you actually learn better at nighttime or you learn better at your own pace, this style of learning might be advantageous to you. And some of the assignments for this kind of learning style might be reading reports, writing essays, discussion boards, and working on presentations and giving presentations. And so some of the features of the hybrid term, we kind of just talked about them briefly as well. Interactive live stream classes with experienced instructors. And for those who have selected the blended model, the in-person classroom setting and engagement. One-on-one instructor support through virtual office hours. peer support from our amazing international peer supporters that you met earlier, transition workshops and experiential events that you'll be offered throughout the term. So we'll also be giving you a chance to learn a little bit about society and have some fun, learn about some of the other university programs as well on the way. Opportunities for you to connect with undergraduate programs, services, and events, and academic advising with program staff and some of your peer supporters. And so with that being said, I'm going to hand it back to Mia, and Mia will talk a little bit more about the program policies and the requirements, and it's all yours.
Thanks, Jason. Here I will be talking about requirements for successful completion of ESL Foundation program. So to pass the ESL Foundation program, you need to meet a few requirements. So achieve a passing grade of 67% in each of your ESL course, and attend at least 80% of synchronous class time for all ESL courses, and successfully complete CLNG 111 language and identity, which is identified as a lower level liberal studies course, and also any other degree credit courses taken while enrolled in the ESL Foundation program. So for this course, CLNG 111, it will be depending on which program stream you are in. And for program 2 and 3, you will be taking this course in your last term. And as well, for any additional degree credit courses, you will need to be nominated by both of your course instructors so as to choose the courses that you may take. Lastly is to observe university policies in all areas of academic and non-academic conduct. All of those detailed information on how to pass each ESL Foundation course, you can find it in your course outline provided by your instructor. And if we can go on next slide, we will be looking at the attendance. So attendance is extremely important because ESL Foundation program, it is a short, intensive program. So we encourage students to attend all classes, and it's very important that you do so. And to achieve a pass in the term, you do need to attend at least 80% of all synchronous class time for both ESL courses, and there are also asynchronous time work that you need to do. And I know Jason has kind of explained this perfectly in the previous slide. So students should refer to your course outline for detailed information regarding synchronous and asynchronous course requirements. And lastly, if any students are to be absent for 20% or more total hours of synchronous learning and did not submit the appropriate ryerson documents, you will receive a fail in the term. And also, we will be regularly checking the attendance, and there will be a meeting for you with our associate director twice a semester for attendance if you did not attend your class regularly. So next slide, we will be looking at attendance and lateness tracking. So basically, we recommend that you arrive for your classes at least 5 minutes before the scheduled start time. And you will see here says view your attendance record. These are the steps that we provided to you so that you know how to view your attendance in D2L. And I know that after our presentation today, we'll be also sharing with you the slides, so you have those steps. And the chart in the right corner here, this is just the way that how we are going to calculate your attendance. Next. Thank you. Next slide. Okay, so here we will be looking at participation. Participation is part of the overall grade in each ESL Foundation course. By attending classes and actively engaging, students ensure that you have the opportunity to achieve your daily and weekly participation grades. And a failure to attend the class will result in a grade of 0% for participation on the session. So I believe except participation in the class, we do also recommend you, ask questions. We have many amazing transition workshops available, and also great opportunities for you to build connections with your course instructors and our peer supporter. So please participate actively. And this slide, we will be looking at program advising drop-in hour. So this is for any students, if you have questions about your courses, program completion, you can drop in on Mondays and Fridays. The time is between 8 to 8:30, and also on Fridays it's 11 to 11:30. And if this time do not work for you, you can always book an appointment. And the email address I already dropped it in the chat is eslfoundation@ryerson.ca, or you can also always send me an email, and I will be answering your questions. So you can also see the Zoom ID here. So please wait or email to schedule an appointment. Okay, so I will hand it to Pedro for the next session. Thank you.
Thank you, Mia. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is again you're joining us from. Now I'm going to talk about the role, peer supporter role, as promised. So during the year, Krishika, Jessica, and I will be working as your peer supporter. And what that means? During the academic year, at any time, if you have any questions, mostly about everything, you're way more than welcome to reach out to us and ask your question. Sometimes that specific question is beyond our knowledge, and it happens. Let's say this question is your question is regarding your program of study or a specific course of your program of study, and we don't know what's the answer for that. We will find the best resource and support available for you, whether on campus or at the Real Institute, and we'll provide the support for you. Or let's say you have a general question about the student life and you want to know about our experience. Let's say you want to know about what we did during our first Halloween in Toronto, or where you can find a student discount, or you want to know about our technique of studying during the midterms or final. Any sort of questions that you might have, you're very more than welcome to reach out to us. And as you can see, our emails are here. And also, even if you don't have any questions and you just want to chat and have some relieving time, you're more than welcome to join our drop-in sessions, which take place twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And Krishika, Jessica, and I will be there to support you. So that being said, I think that's all from me. I'm really looking forward to work with all of you during this year and can't wait to begin the semester. Now I'm just going to pass the floor to our lovely colleagues to share about themselves, and if they want to add anything else to what I said.
Hi, yes, so just like Pedram said, we are here to support you whenever if you want to stop by in our drop-in hours, we can do that. Or if you need to schedule another appointment, you can always email us, and we're here to support you with any questions you have about how Pedram said being an international student or the student life. And yes, we are here for you, and we're very excited to be working and meeting all of you. And we're very excited for this year. So don't ever bother to ask any questions. We're always here for you, and we're here to support you. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll move on to our next little bit here, transition and student engagement advising. So as my role mentions, student transition coordinator. I used to be a Ryerson student myself. I used to be a Ryerson student a little under 10 years ago. And so anytime you just book an appointment with me, if you want to discuss how you can get involved with just the Real Institute or with the entire Ryerson University community, there's a wide range of groups and resources that are available for you at your fingertips, both virtually and in person. And so my email is there for you, jason.hang@ryerson.ca. You can also email the ESL Foundation email, eslfoundation@ryerson.ca. It will direct to me. Basically ask me anything about student life, student engagement, how to get involved, how to transition or how you're transitioning into a new university, a new country, a new city. You might be a little bit nervous about those things. And everyone gets nervous about transitioning into a new environment. When I came into school, when I came into Ryerson, I came from a relatively small high school and I came to a big, a small fish, big pond kind of thing. And so I know that exact feeling. And along with our peer supporters, which are also current Ryerson students, we all understand what you're going through and what you will be going through. So please ask us any questions about any of your transitioning pieces and anything about clubs, groups, nearby coffee shops, nearby bubble tea restaurants, whatever. I'm here to answer your questions about those kind of fun bits. And we will now pass the platform to Saad. Saad will talk a lot more about the technical platforms, the systems, and he will provide you more information.
Okay, yeah, so these are your technical requirements for the upcoming term. So please make sure that you have a laptop or desktop computer. Just note that tablets and smartphones are limited in their functionality, so you may not be able to fully access or run certain platforms that we're using. So please make sure that you are using a laptop or a desktop computer. Please also note that you must bring your own personal laptop fully charged and ready to go, especially if you're in person, only if you're in person, because of our social distancing protocols in place. You'll also need a webcam and microphone. You'll also need a stable internet connection. So if you need to move closer to your router, if you need to pause background downloads or streams, please do so. You'll need access to Ryerson apps. So that's Gmail, Google Apps, Zoom, D2L. And I'll talk about D2L a little bit further. You'll need access to external links like YouTube. You also need to use one of the following browsers, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, or Microsoft Edge. Safari has in the past given students technical issues with Zoom and D2L. So please try to use one of the recommended browsers, Google Chrome, Firefox, or Edge. A very important housekeeping item is to activate your online identity. This is basically your my.ryerson.ca username and profile. And this is also your email address. You should have received an email regarding the activation process. So please go through it and activate your identity. You'll be picking your username. Usually it's your first name dot last name. And then you'll also create a password for your account. If you have any difficulties with this, please send us an email. I'll tell you my email a little later on. And also you can also email eslfoundation@ryerson.ca. And you can also drop by some sessions I'll be hosting later on. Please note that after September 6th, all communications will be using your Ryerson email address. So again, please make sure that you do activate your online identity. We use 4 major platforms in our program: PeopleGrove, Rams, D2L, and Zoom, and I'll talk a little bit more about them as we go forward. So PeopleGrove, as Mia mentioned earlier, is our page for course resources, such as instructions to download and use Zoom, classroom etiquettes, and program and student policies. There will also be discussions and updates about events. So please make sure you do join the platform and the group. And in order to access PeopleGrove, you'll go to ryerson.peoplegrove.com. You'll click a sign in button, and you'll select Ryerson ID. And this is where your online identity comes in place. because once you click Ryerson ID, it'll ask you to log into your my.ryerson.ca profile. So again, please make sure you do activate your identity. So once you click sign in, you'll log in with your Ryerson profile. You'll create your profile, ask you a couple of questions. There's a link to a video that can guide you through it. Or if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Then you click on the groups tab once you've logged in, and then you'll search for ESL Foundation Program. Once you find that, you'll click the join button next to the group, and you'll be part of our, the page. Yeah, if you can go one more. Yep, thank you so much. So next platform that we use is RAMS, and you'll access it from my.ryerson.ca. Again, I'll say one more time, your online identity is what comes into play here. So please make sure you activate it. You won't be able to access this without it. So you'll log into my.ryerson.ca. At the top, you'll see a link to RAMS. And RAMS is basically your student profile. This is where you'll access your course schedules, your academic records, and financial accounts. So please make sure, again, your online identity. Next platform is D2L. This is used for your courses. So this is where you view your courses, your assignments, your tests, your grades. And this is where your instructor will post announcements as well as you go forward. Just a reminder that you may not be able to see your courses right now, but you will see them by Thursday this week. So to access your courses, you'll go to my.ryerson.ca again. You'll log in using your Ryerson profile. There are two ways to access your courses. One is to click the online courses and organizations tab, or there's another link down below, which says your courses in D2L Brightspace. Once you click that, you'll see a list of all your courses, and then you'll click on that course to view its page. Next slide, please. Once you are on the page for that course, you can access its content. You can view your grades, assessments, which are your quizzes or tests, communications, which could be discussion boards. Your instructor could post announcements and resources for that course as well. One thing to note is once you click on the assessment tab, that's where you'll also see your classroom attendance as well. And that content page is where you'll view that course outline that Mia mentioned earlier. So please make sure to check that out. One thing to note also is, sorry, if we can go back once more, there's a bell icon on the top right. So please make sure you check that. It's your notifications for any updates to your courses. So please make sure that you check that periodically. Okay, we can go forward. Zoom, of course, you're using it now, but Zoom is basically your virtual classroom. One thing to note is to make sure that you have activated your Zoom profile. But to do this, you'll go to ryerson.zoom.us and you'll click the sign in tab. And this is where you'll log in with your my.ryerson profile, your first name, last name, and it'll create your Zoom profile. And this will help you, especially when you join your courses or join your classes. You don't have to enter your name every time. This will just use the name that is part of your Ryerson profile, which is also good for your instructor to identify you. Next, please. So once you've downloaded Zoom and you're using the client, the desktop client, you click sign in. And please make sure that you click the sign in with SSO button. This is just to make sure that you are using your Ryerson profile, as I mentioned earlier. And once you click sign in with SSO, it'll ask you for your company domain. Just enter Ryerson and then click continue. And then you'll see a pop-up and say open Zoom meetings, and then you'll be able to log in and then join your meetings, host a session, etc. Next, please. So yeah, this is exactly, this is exactly what you'll see once you log into Zoom. As I mentioned, you can join meetings, you can create new ones, and you can also see your schedule on the right side. Okay, yeah, we can go forward. One thing that you should, we do recommend that you do go through is to activate your Authenticator backup codes. So once you activate your online profile, you'll be asked to download Google Authenticator on your phone. This is just a two-step security factor that will that you'll need to log into your profile. What happens is sometimes you'll lose your phone. Sorry, I don't mean to say that you will, but some students do, or they replace it with a new one. And then because of that, they're not able to log in to their Ryerson profile. And the only way for you to be able to log in after that is to call IT service at Ryerson. Sometimes, depending on your location, it may be difficult to do so. So these backup codes will allow you to log in even if you lose your phone or replace it. So please make sure that you do so. You just go to my.ryerson.ca. You click your profile account, profile icon on the top right. You click personal account, and then you'll click on two-factor authentication. And if you can go next, you click generate new backup codes. And once you've done that, you'll receive an email notification about it as well. But please make sure you save what you see on the screen, maybe on your desktop, or maybe write it down. And these codes, again, as I mentioned, these will help you log in if you ever come to a situation where you don't have your phone. One thing that you can do as well, if you have replaced your phone, or if you're going to be adding a new one, one additional step is to once you follow up to step 3, you'll go to two-factor authentication. Once you're on the two-factor authentication page, you click add mobile device, and then you can add your new phone from there. Next, please. For some reason, I can't see the screen. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, as mentioned earlier, I'm here for supporting you with all your technical questions, any issues that you have. So please feel free to reach out to me. My email address is there. It's saad.iqbal@ryerson.ca. You can also email eslfoundation.ca if that's easier. And then the questions will be delegated to me. And please make sure that whenever you are reaching out, please try to include as much information as possible so that I can help you with resolving the issue as quickly as possible, and include screenshots as well. At the same time, please inform your instructor of these issues so that they're aware of it as well. And as I mentioned, my technical support drop-in hours are here, September 7, 8, and 9 from 9 to 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and September 10, 11:15 to 12:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Feel free to drop by. It's not required, but you can drop by. I can answer any of your questions that you have regarding your tech. If you need recommendations on laptops, hardware, etc., I can help you out as well. My Zoom ID is posted. So again, feel free to reach out, and best of luck to you guys, and happy to help you whenever I can.
Thank you very much, Saad. So I'm going to pass the floor back to Courtney. She'll just kind of wrap up the event with just a to-do list for all the students. So what's next for you, and what's next for the coming week or two?
Thank you, Jason, and thank you everyone for all that important information. I know for all you students, it's probably a lot to digest, and that's why, as I mentioned at the beginning, we'll be sharing this recording, we'll be sharing the slides, and we'll also be giving you just a follow-up communication to let you know about things that are important that you have to do next. But right now, I'll share a little to-do list with you. So first of all, make sure you have all the required equipment and technology listed earlier. So I'm sure as all of you are logged on to Zoom right now, it's probably a given that you're good with technology, but like Saad mentioned, make sure you have a laptop or a desktop, because tablets and phones aren't going to give you the right functionality. And as Jason mentioned, in terms of, or maybe Saad mentioned it, anyway, as was mentioned, the students who are coming to campus, make sure that you're bringing your laptops with you on the first day and every day that you come. Make sure they're charged, because distancing is in effect. So access to plugs will be a little bit tricky if you're coming with a dead battery. Sign up for People Growth. We shared with you today about what we use this platform for. And I would say one of the most important things in there that you should look at right away are the policies. So making sure that you have a really good understanding of what's required of you as a student, what the responsibilities you have on a term basis, on a program basis, and also understanding what your rights are as a student. So make sure that you are joining People Grove. It's ESL Foundation Program, Fall 21, Winter 22, Real Institute. If you have issues, there's information about what to do next in terms of troubleshooting that was shared with you, but send us an email. We're happy to help. I mentioned this already, but read the program policy and guides on People Grove. So in addition to program policies, there's some other helpful information that's in there on People Grove. So have a look around. It's not too much. You have a couple of days left until classes start. So I would definitely recommend becoming familiar with all those before you begin. Connect with us, connect with the peer supporters, with the Real Institute staff. We are all here to help you. It's literally our jobs. So please make use of us as resources. If you have questions, if you have concerns, there are no silly questions. So please reach out and we're all happy to support you in your journey into Ryerson and the Real Institute. And finally, have fun. This is an exciting time of your life where you're starting your post-secondary experience. You are part of the Ryerson community. We know it's kind of a funny transition in with the pandemic, but there's lots to do. As Jason mentioned, there's virtual orientation, virtual services. There are some in-person services for those of you who are in the GTA. So connect with us, make the most of your time, and definitely just put yourself out there. It will really make the experience all the more memorable and worthwhile. So the best way to reach us is at eslfoundation@ryerson.ca. Mia checks that email all the time, and your questions usually are answered within a couple of hours. You can also reach out to ESL Foundation email account and ask for a meeting. So we can set up a Zoom meeting, we can set up a call, whatever suits you best, and we can answer your questions before they become concerns. As Sally mentioned at the very beginning of this session, communication is key. If you're experiencing an issue or something's coming up in your life that you think might impact your ability to be successful in your course or your program, please reach out to someone, whether that's your instructor, your peer supporter, a staff member, and try to find a way to navigate through that issue rather than waiting until the very end. So thank you all so much for joining us today. We're really, really thrilled that you've chosen Ryerson and the Real Institute, and we can't wait to have this fabulous year together with you.
Yes, like Courtney said, thank you very much for taking the time this morning, everyone. I know, or afternoon or evening, depending on where you are. And like we all stressed in the beginning, all this recording, all the resources and the slides will be provided to you at a later date. And so if you didn't have a chance to follow along with us, then it's no problem. You kind of just read over the slides, watch over our recordings a little bit at a later date. And really, like Courtney stressed, if you have any questions, whether you think it's silly or not, it's no silly questions, please send it to us and we'll be happy to help you. Well, that's it. I think we're gonna let everyone now go have some lunch, some breakfast, some dinner, take a nap, whatever it might be. And we're excited to see everyone bright and early for orientation. And if you're not coming for the in-person orientation, we're excited to see everyone next Tuesday for your first day of class. So congratulations, enjoy the rest of your summer, and we will see everyone very soon.